Hey, it's us once again. I'm JT, and my homeboy here with me. Say something, Mike B.
What it do?
And that's what he says. We here again for a new season of Iyanla Fix My Life. It's been a while.
It has.
And so she's back at it. You know, giving us her three. This is probably the only thing she gonna do. This little three-part series she got on.
That's what she did with
and oh yeah, and fell off. We're like, what? Was that a season? Or I don't know, a short story?
Like,
I don't know what it was.
I actually never know when it's like a season or if it's like we're coming back from a season.
We stopped saying number seasons. We just
say a new episode.
a new episode from season whatever. But we in this season, we're in Louisville, Kentucky.
Are we?
Yes. We're in Louisville.
Yeah, I feel like you got a little bit more details than I.
I didn't have to ask you this time.
I didn't have the first thing I didn't know. So
don't give me too much credit now, because I'll probably be double backing. But we're there, and we're talking about two different men, two black men that are ministers, and I guess their truth or their secret that they had, truth or secret, is being gay. Both of them are gay. One is married and has kids, and I think he's a pastor, right? I think that's Brother Mitchell. Yeah. Brother Mitchell, and he has kids, but he's on the down low. And the other one that we're going to start with is the other one is Derek. He's a pastor also, but I don't think I think he had like a prior relationship, but it wasn't really nothing, or he had relationships with women, but you know it never came to nothing. And I think he's single. They never did tell us, right?
About the first guy.
The first guy.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
And so she meets with Derek first, and he says. Basically, you know, he's a homosexual male, and he told us a little background. We found out that he was raped at 8 or 9 years old by a teenager. They didn't say who, like a family friend or somebody just
from
around
school
the way.
Or whatever. Yeah,
we just know that he got raped, and I'm guessing that's what sparked. You know,
that's what they made it seem that way.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a lot of with a lot of homosexuals. You know, they say I was molested or abused, raped, you know, whatever when I was a child, and so it seemed like he's always been. I guess after that accident, he somewhat, I guess, felt attracted to men. I guess I don't know. They didn't really go into that backstory yet, but she's meeting with him. And basically his thing is he fears what the church is going to say,
right? And
he's thinking his fear is like you know going to hell or not, right? You know which is understandable, and that's all he's been taught, right? You know,
that's kind of the same with the other pastor Mitchell.
Yeah, all I hear is fire and brimstone. So, yeah. You know, when I think about myself being a gay man.
And then the fact that they were both, I guess in the closet or homosexuals, but they are actively, outwardly, talking about or speaking, out against it. So
now Derek, he didn't seem too in the closet to me. I mean,
based on like his mannerisms or whatever.
If there was somewhat of
a sign,
somewhat of a sign. I mean, just his mannerisms, the way he talked. The color, I mean, like his dress. I'm like, this don't look like, But
there are what's the metrosexual people who just you are who you are. But when he was talking, I'm like, I wonder, is this how he talks, in front of his congregation?
Yeah, I mean, he has them little, feminine type of quirks and how his body language and I'm like,
but I don't think that's what makes him gay.
No. I'm saying that'll bring up your
like an antenna
because you still have young men that's straight that just grew up with women and that's what they know. But and so her thing with him was she had him like in front of the church his church from his childhood, and he's saying, you know, what do you standing in front of your church, you know, becoming a minister, and what did you bring to the table when you became a minister? And he was like, it seemed like everything bad, like lies, betrayal,
deceit,
all the negative stuff. And she said, you need to basically, you know, what do you need to do? And he said, I need to tell my family. Yeah, I guess in his journey of,
but he also,
telling his
like,
truth.
in front of the church, he also, you know, let it out that he was a black preacher who was a homosexual.
So like the first time saying it,
he got it off his chest in front of that church, you know.
And so that's basically where we stopped at with him,
story,
you know. And she said, well, you know, your next stop is you need to tell your family. And so that's what happened. But
it wasn't his family the one, you know. He got a mother, and his father was a police officer. Was his father the police officer? Or was it Mitchell?
No, I think it was Derek.
So he was saying, like, you know, he had contemplated wanting to, you know, commit suicide. He said, I wanted my family to feel kind of the pain and the hurt that I've been going through, I guess, holding this secret in or living this other life. I don't think they actually went into whether he, you know, acted on his urges as, you know, being, you know, I know they talked about it with Mitchell. But for some, I don't think they brought it up with this guy.
Brought it up with him. And so, like, his next step in his therapy was speaking to his family, and so that. And
it was also weird that they didn't want the cameras. He said he didn't want the cameras to be there when he go and talk to his family. I don't think they ever. It makes sense. I probably wouldn't have called Iyanla to begin with, but.
Like this,
I didn't know you could make those
types of
I didn't know you could make those types of requests.
I mean, but it is your story, so you know they can say yes or no. And so they just showed his van going into the hotel, I guess where his family was, where he told them and whatnot, and that's where they left us with Derek. And then they come to Mitchell, and you see, I don't think he had like nothing like growing up that happened to him. They didn't say nothing to that point, but
I think the only thing they mentioned that when he was younger, he always kind of knew
that he was attracted to men. And so he basically was like running away from it growing up. He had a wife. I think she had already had like 2 or 3 children before the relationship, and then they had another 2, his own children with her. And so he's a head of the household for 5 children. Plus he's a pastor of the church. And so his thing is basically just, you know, feeling shameful, you know, bringing this upon his family. He kept on saying, you know, I don't want to involve them in this.
Right.
You know, they don't need to know my pain. They don't need to go through this with me.
But he's already told his wife.
Yeah.
Like he told his wife, I think like 2 or 3 years into their relationship, they ended up getting separated. They didn't get divorced, which I don't really know. You know, maybe it's for the sake of the kids or whatever. But I think we're gonna find out that the kids, maybe the older kids.
She said the oldest son like lost respect for him after they found out. So I'm guessing the oldest one knew.
But who you think told? She did, or he?
You know, I don't know. Cause I don't know. I don't think it's probably him. How he was acting.
The way he was acting on this episode, I can't see him being the one to
actually been like that conversation, like since we separated type deal with the oldest one. You know, he like I probably want to know what's going on.
Or you know why? You know, Daddy ain't here no more.
And she I guess she, you know, he was old enough to explain it. And so he's as he's talking to Iyanla, she's saying like well, you know, you need to say. I think she was talking about his how many men. This is the one that we got into his escapades. Yeah. Because I think she's mentioned that he had slept with like three men before they got married. I feel like she was saying before. That, but then I thought it was like 2 years when he started.
No, that's
2 years.
There had already been some before that 2 years.
Oh, it was
because around the 2-year mark was when he said his wife. He found out that she had been unfaithful, which really didn't. Based on his explanation, she just had some lingerie that belonged to somebody else, and was probably, you know, contemplating doing something.
But ended up not doing it, and it seemed like it was like like a further of him doing what he was doing. You know,
almost kind of pushed him more towards, you know, doing his own thing, cheating. But Iyanla was, I felt like she made a good point saying, like, you know, right now, this situation doesn't really have anything to do with you being a homosexual as far as what's going on in your household. Like the fact that your wife was cheating, like that was something going on that made your wife question your integrity. Like as a man, you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do to keep your wife involved in your relationship. I feel like maybe he was showing the signs back then. Maybe he wasn't paying her any attention. Something like that was going on, and she found it elsewhere. You never know.
He didn't want her attention.
I know.
That's right, you know, and that's the thing, you know, he was just being deceitful, you know, just like any other man cheating, and you know, homosexual activity or not,
right?
You know, you still cheating on your wife. You know, y'all still got problems to where there's no communication. Somebody's not happy. We obviously know you're not happy. And so she's saying, you know, that's the bigger problem. She said you need to tell the book, chapter, and verse to your wife. Tell her the whole kit and caboodle of what's going on. Right now, she just know that you know you're gay. But she don't know you done had these escapades.
Yeah.
And bringing it to the house, probably bringing it back into the house. You don't know, you know. That's that bull right there, man. And so, usually they have the crier. He was the crier of this episode. He couldn't stop. And so they brought us to day 2.
Do you think though that the reason that he was, because he seemed like he was more in control initially. You know, he knew what he wanted to say.
You know, I told her
he owned it. You know, whatever. But Iyanla was like, you haven't really reached your breaking point yet. And you know, the more that she made him kind of sit in it and stew in it, the tears started to flow.
And they didn't stop.
They didn't stop. But then it got to the point where Iyanla had him in the bed, in the fetal position.
No, first guy got there. No, this is the second day. She brought back Derek to talk to him. And then a producer comes, she's like, you know, he was kind of crying out here with you. But now he just out of control.
He up in the room.
You know, just
wailing. Like,
and you know,
I've never seen this. I don't know how to handle it. Like, what do you want us to do?
My boy, they open up the door. He on the chair. I mean, just bawling. And you know, here it comes. You know that time when Iyanla does her, I don't know, her little exercise.
Rituals or what do you call it?
No.
But she
didn't have a yard to
lay down.
Yeah, to prostrate in this time. And so she told him, I think she be doing this on just on a limb. How about you just get on the bed? And
remember, before they got on bed, she was rocking him and rubbing his back and grabbing some stuff, you know.
I don't know, he on the bed though, I'm saying.
I thought this was before the bed.
Nah, this is when he was curled up. She like getting to the fetal position.
No, before then.
Oh, this when he was on the,
that's
she
before
rubbed
the
his
bed.
back. I thought he was on the bed doing that.
In the fetal position, that's when she wrapped him up.
This before she wrapped him up, he was in the bed in the fetal position.
I think we're gonna have to watch this again.
Oh. Either way, she did her little pulling out. I don't know what she was pulling out of him.
I don't know either.
And start and tuck them in. That's all I can think of. I'm like, she tucking them in. That's like a kid when they scared of the dark and they want to come to their parents' bedroom. They're like, you know, no, they give him a little rub. He crying and they ain't gonna work. And then it was different.
It was weird. It was weird in a sense because, you know, a part of you would say this is a grown man, you know, and she got him up here looking like a baby, and he's crying like a baby. But you also have to realize that this man has been struggling with this situation for,
not to make it likely,
you know, for years.
Yeah, and
now it's coming to the point where he's going to have to actually face, you know, not only his church but his family, has to face his kids. And I don't know if he don't seem like he ready. It seems like
he just don't want to do it. And that's really what he was saying to me. You know, like
he don't want to involve.
Like, I don't want to. This is my problem. You know, I don't want to hurt nobody. Plus, you know, I don't want more shame on my family and me.
Yeah, because once again, both of these men are preachers. So, you know, it's not only going to put shame on themselves, but also it's going to kind of shame the church in the community. So, you know, I think they're taking that into consideration as well. But Iyanla's like, hey, You more concerned about what your church gonna say, but you're not really concerned about the lies that you're telling in front of the pulpit.
Yeah, you being
you're not,
deceitful at the same time.
You're supposed to be spreading God's word, but you're being, a hypocrite, and you're basically lying to people.
Spreading truth, but living a lie.
So that's what she was saying. You need to be more concerned with.
That's pretty much it, folks, for the
Part
first
one, yeah.
For part one, we seem like we'll get more family involvement on the next episode. We see what the parents got to say as far as Derek, and what the wife says as far as Mitchell. She didn't give us an old rock this time. I'm waiting for that.
And she didn't give us a laugh either this episode.
I think she's gonna give it to us when she talking to the parents.
Oh, you think she's gonna come?
I think she might give you one.
We'll see.
If you liked it, give some comments. We know this is somewhat of a controversial topic.
Yeah.
So you have some comments. Let us know. If you want to watch what we're doing, see us on I couldn't even think of it. But on YouTube.
Trying to freestyle.
If you want to see this show on YouTube, yes. No. Till next time, folks. Peace.